Hello, hello Virgo. Welcome to your October 2018 overview reading. This is good for you if you're a sun, moon, or rising Virgo. And if you don't know what your sun, moon, and rising sign is, I'm going to post the link to my favorite natal chart, or, well, it's not really a link, but it's just the name of the website. I'll include that if you guys want to look it up. And I also have some exciting news that I'm going to be sharing more about at the end and some other housekeeping stuff. But I wanted to let you guys know, whoop, I'll take that, that I now have a mailbox. So it's now possible to send me mail and all sorts of good stuff, which I'm super excited about. And I think we can have a lot of fun just with snail mail in some way, shape, or form. So I'll talk more about that at the end, but I'm really excited about that and just being able to have another way to connect with you. And yeah, so if there's anything that you'd like to have come up today, I always recommend that you just set the intention, just ask for the information to appear in this reading, ask for your answers to kind of shine through whatever situation is kind of eating away at you right now, or whatever you want to know about the month of October. So let's see, the first thing that's coming up is faith. All right, and I think that this is one of the things that can really frustrate Virgos, considering Virgos are about getting results. Like Virgos are about, you know, seeing things come to life and like getting things done and making things happen and getting it perfect. Like that's really what Virgos are good at. And so when you come into a situation where you can't see the other side, or you don't know what's going to happen, or you don't know how it's going to unfold, or you just don't know, and there's a lot of uncertainty, it really is calling on you to have faith. And I know how uncomfortable and frustrating that can be. So it's one of those things that, again, it takes practice. Like it really is something that you have to be conscious of and work at. So this is going to be a month when you can really exercise this. And then the witchling for you we have is transformation. Self-transformation is the evolving process of life that brings higher consciousness. Okay, so how are you evolving in October? That's really going to be the question, is what's changing? How are you growing? How are you evolving into the person that you aspire to be? And then the animal card for you is camel. So this is about endurance and stability. I think that there's a lot to be said about the faith card showing up next to the camel. It's about, you know, keeping your chin up. And I know that that's easier said than done. And some days you might need to fall apart a little bit, and that's okay too. I'm not reading this as like foreseeing a bunch of bad stuff happening. That's not what it is at all. It's just, this is more like a persistent situation that's frustrating, or like that one thing that you wish would clear up, but you don't know how, you're like out of tools. And so that's kind of where the faith comes in. It really is a practice about like scrapping the old playbook and being open to writing a new one and kind of seeing how that gels with you. And the word of the month is experiment. Oh my God, I love this, because it's like usually when I start talking about these, as soon as I pull a follow-up card, it confirms that. Okay, give it a chance to evolve. Be patient with your effort. Have fun on the journey. Leave room for the plan and creative, leave room in the plan for creative detours and in the moment modifications. And so this is what I was talking about in terms of you kind of having to try something new just to see how it fits, to see, does it work? Is it effective? Does it work with you? Does it feel good to you? Those are all things that you want to keep in mind. Now, the central energy for you this month is the Six of Pentacles. So give and take is going to be really important. Focusing on balance in your relationships. I know that Virgos are very much of service, but a lot of the time it can get a little bit out of whack, where you're picking up a lot more of the slack than you should be, or that you need to. And so remember that overdoing and overgiving does not increase your value. It's like your value is astronomically high without you trying to prove something, or without having to be perfect, or without having to overgive or overdo or overfunction. Like, you don't have to say yes to every work project just because someone asks you. And that's one of the things that you want to keep in mind, is like taking care of yourself and setting healthy boundaries is also going to help other people recognize your value and your worth. Is like, you won't just do anything for anyone because you have a lot going on and you only have so much energy. That's actually it reflects and models to other people that they need to respect your time and energy. It's not something that's disposable, and it's not something that can be abused. So really be mindful with your time and energy this month. Now, what you need to know about October is the Two of Wands. Something's coming in. So something is approaching. It's like there's this little thing on the horizon, or maybe a big thing on the horizon, but because of the distance, it might seem far away, but you have faith and camel and transformation. So there's still some stuff happening behind the scenes that you're not able to see over that mountain range that you have showing up here. So you want to focus on the moment to moment. I honestly think that this is going to be a great month for Virgo to just be present. Practice presence and just being in the moment. What are you doing in the moment? How is your energy in the moment? I think that Virgos are very plan oriented, liking to plan and organize and structure and give everything a nice, perfect place. And I think that it's time to do something different in October. So just play around with this idea of just being present in the moment, doing what you can, and trusting that what's over that mountain range is absolutely making its way to you. And you don't know when it's gonna pop up. Okay, that's the only but. That's the only thing, is you know it's out there, you know it's coming, but you don't know when it's going to appear, and that is probably the most crazy making thing possible. But it's just kind of what you have to practice right now. So let's see what else. What advice is coming up for you? The Lovers. Okay, so let me pull a clarifier for this first, because it's showing up in the advice position. It could have some, if you're like wanting a relationship, I think that's definitely what's like sitting out here, that thing that's approaching, but that's not going to be true for everyone. So let's see what else is coming up with the Lovers in terms of advice. Child of Wands. So this is pouring energy into your connections is going to have big payoff. Every connection matters, every friend, every opportunity to go out and hang out with people and meet new people and do new things and engage in new activities, all of that is worth your energy. So connection, partnerships, friendships, all of that stuff has a huge, like, there's such a significant return on that investment. I would say give your relationships effort in October. And then this is what you're experiencing, the Two of Swords. So this is more of like the external, what's happening. And this is what I'm talking about. These are basically reflecting the same thing. Like, this is referring to blindness, right? Like, you don't actually know. And this is like looking out at the landscape, and that's all shadowed out. It's like there, do you see all the light behind that mountain range? I love this card, probably one of my favorites in this deck. And so it really is pointing to, something is sitting on that horizon that's making its way to you. It's like the sun is coming up. I promise, I promise, I promise. Like, that is something that is happening. But it's like, if you truly think like you're done waiting and you just want to throw in the towel, then that can also be your reality. So I want you to know that I understand that this process can be really frustrating, and I'm not minimizing that by any means. Okay, just remember that attitude is going to help, and it's kind of like if you feed this entire process more energy of it's coming my way, and speaking that with conviction is going to help you believe it in your body more, right? So don't forget that that is going to help, along with you doing the work, you nurturing connections, you putting energy into meeting new people and going places and doing things. It doesn't matter if you're looking for a business partnership, more money, a new opportunity, a relationship, it doesn't matter. It's showing that the dawn is going to break, you know, that's happening. But you have to do the work, and you have to keep the faith. And what's healing for you this month? The Queen of Chalices. So there's definitely some emotional healing that's taking place in October. There's like a lot to be said about having this sitting under here, because it's kind of like the wrath of emotion, which can happen from time to time, is actually calming down and turning into something that is stable and whole and healthy and renewed. And so if you give this, again, a little bit of effort, if you apply yourself and do things differently and experiment with new ideas as you're evolving. And I know that you guys have had a lot of endurance through all of this. I completely understand that. It's kind of like, what? I have to wait longer? This is nonsense. Like, get out of here with that. But there's something to be said about how the emotional component is kind of coming full circle. Like, that's part of what you're healing in October. So this is significant for you to experience that, whatever's sitting outside of that mountain range. Now, this is what's shifting out for you is the Ten of Wands. This is overwhelm. Like, it's too much to handle. You just can't take it anymore. That's actually shifting out. That's like having too much on your plate, having too much going on, not being able to manage things the way you usually do or with the grace that you usually do. And so feeling kind of scattered energetically is actually what's moving away. And you're making room for, again, whatever it is that you are calling into your space. So the oncoming energy for you is the Empress. I'm going to clarify this, but it is about divine femininity. This is also the archetype of the mother. This is really, really, really about you owning your value and knowing what it is that you bring to the table. And we also have the Eight of Cups. So it's kind of like you're completely getting a makeover in terms of your perspective with things and how you show up and how you are using the divine feminine to your advantage. Because we have both divine feminine and masculine within us, and it's just about finding when and how they work for whatever we need. And so it just looks like there's a new perspective around your embodiment of the Empress in some way, or the way that the Empress is defined by you. This can also be the Empress coming into your life if you're really needing like a surrogate mom, or if you're needing like a role model or a mentor or someone really, really feminine who's good at receiving. Like, that's what's coming up here. Okay, so that's all for the base reading. Now we're going to get into the timeline. So first, second, third, and fourth quarter, this is where you're starting October. This is where you'll end October. So first thing coming up is, I believe this is Scry Mirror. I don't know what that, I think it is. But this is about like what you're experiencing in the beginning of October. It's like you're just reflecting things back to yourself. So whatever is happening in the external is it's like your environment, your experience in that first quarter is reflecting back to you a lot of either what's holding you back or what you're afraid of or whatever it is that is blocking you. It's kind of like you're going to get a glimpse of this emotional healing in the beginning of October, like, oh, there it is. There's just that click, that thing that makes sense. So you get like all the reflection is really top heavy. And then the second quarter we have puppet. So I think you're just kind of going with the flow of things in the second quarter. Like you're kind of just along for the ride during that second week. I'm not sure. This doesn't, I'm not reading this as bad. I'm not reading any manipulation energy here. I want to be really clear about that. This looks more like you kind of having to process all of the things that were reflected in the beginning of the month and kind of like sitting with it and just honoring what's coming up for you. It's not something that you need to do anything with, and that's why you have the puppet coming up. It's just showing you, hey, this is here. It's showing you that you can just sit with things. It doesn't need to be, you don't have to take action right this moment. You don't have to execute right this moment. You can just be calm and still and honor whatever it is that's going on. Third quarter, you can't find goodness because you lost your heart. Okay, so this is about faith. This is where this faith card becomes really, really, really important. And it's kind of like finding within yourself, like right now, what stimulates joy? What makes you feel good? What makes you feel empowered? Like get back in touch with those original things that you may have lost or feel like just wasn't worth carrying around with you. It seems like this has to do with where your attention is. Like it's more focused on receiving from the external rather than kind of addressing some of the pain points or the patterns that are showing up. And so it's very easy to do this. And it's kind of like you just want to go back and pick up the pieces, identify what do you need in this moment. Is it connection? Is it clarity? Is it support? Is it physical touch? Like what do you need? And if you can start to just put a label on what you need, that's how you kind of find your way back to self-soothing and nurturing. And fourth quarter, death of the deceitful. Yes, 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 yes. 1,000 times yes. Best card to have show up for you right here. Death of the deceitful is all of the lies that you have been telling yourself, all of the programming that mom and dad gave you that isn't true, or that an organization gave you that isn't true, all of the false things that have occurred in your life that you've been carrying around are now making their way out. They're shifting away. They're dying. They're dying. Like this is big, 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 big. All of the things that you've been working for, all of that work, all of the enduring, all of the stuff that has been like, God, I can't catch a break or I can't get what I want. That mindset is dying. So I am seeing this as like a complete resurgence of mindset and vitality and like really making your way back to self-love, self-care, self-nourishment, which is even deeper. It's like, yeah, you might love yourself, but you might not be nourishing yourself, right? There's a very clear distinction between the two. And so this is why all of the belief systems that were being held on to are actually just fading away, or it might be a big bang too. It might be like an overnight click where it's like, oh, I don't actually need that anymore. You've outgrown so much of this old stuff that it seems like there's a completely new, like it's like you're a new person by the end of October. Okay, so this is really, Wow, this is like the most powerful timeline I've seen out of any sign so far. All right, now you guys know the drill. We are doing a 3-card pick. You're welcome to pick a card before or after I flip them over. It does not matter to me at all. It is completely up to you. Okay, so you can pick card 1, 2, or 3, or you can pick more than one. Totally up to you. First thing coming up, 4 of Cups. So it seems like, you know, again, similar to how we have the 6 of Pentacles in the center, be mindful with where your energy is going. It's not something that should just be given away freely necessarily. It's something that you can actually look at as a vital resource that you need to support yourself, to stay engaged with the people that you're connected to. It's like all of that stuff matters here. Okay, and then card number 2, we have the 6 of Wands, and so it's kind of like breaking out of that old situation, the old pattern, the old whatever this was for you. You're now breaking out of it. You're starting new, you're starting fresh. It's like you've busted open that cocoon and now you're moving forward. Okay, and then card number 3, we have the 6 of Pentacles again. So this has to do with, again, that reciprocity matters, that give and take matters so much for you. I think that it's okay to like keep track of yourself, where and what you're giving to who, and kind of what is the payoff for you. Where are you coming from a place of generosity and where are you coming from a place of obligation? Like there's a difference between the two. So just check where and what the quality of the energy that you're sharing with other people is. Okay, so that's all for the reading. And just a few housekeeping things. I wanted to let everyone know the mailbox, it is a physical address. It is not a P.O. box. So you can send me anything from any carrier, which I'm really glad about. So, yes, I've had quite a few requests, people asking if they can send me tarot decks to review, and I am open to that. So if you want to send me one, you're welcome to. If you are going to send me a piece of mail, please include either your social media name or something like that so that I know who you are and where to, like, how to identify you and all that stuff. I'm not sure if I can do pen pals. It really depends on how busy it gets or if I get overwhelmed with letters. I don't actually know what's going to happen with this. So I just wanted to let you guys know. I don't have any concrete plans for it, but I thought it would be fun. And then I am going to be going on vacation from October 5th to the 17th. If you want to work with me, it would be best to do that in either last half of September or beginning of October, depending on when you're watching this. And then I will be back to doing readings on the 18th. So my autoresponder will be on. You will be able to email me and you'll get an auto response back with all of the details and information. So it's like you can still submit your readings if you want. And then I also want to let you know my prices are going to be changing. So one-on-one sessions are going to stay the same. Single questions are going to stay the same. But email tarot spreads are going up. It's a small increase just by $5. But I am going to take submissions for 2019 readings. I'm going to offer that as an option on my website. So if you want to get that early and take advantage of the price in October, you're welcome to do that. Just select the 2019 option on the timeline for whatever tarot spread you want. And that is all that I have housekeeping wise. Anyway, thank you so much, Virgo. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much. It has been a pleasure. And until next time, have a lovely October and I will see you later. Bye-bye.